good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, everywhere, depending on where and when you are watching Africa Online. Well, this is the last Sunday of the year. There's no more countdown there, son. It is a chilly, brisk, but beautiful day where I am here in Trenton, New Jersey. What's it looking like in your neck of the woods? Today, like I said, it's the last Sunday, and we always discuss a health topic. And we've been talking all month about stress and the holidays and how to prepare and not be so overcome. But as we get ready to go into 2026, we've been eating since Thanksgiving, and we have all overstuffed ourselves. But as we go into 2026, we want to talk about preventive health today. We want to be able to go into 2026 with a much more healthier you. We don't want to carry the old from 2025. We don't even want to carry all the food that may be stuffed in our colons and in our guts into 2026. So we're going to talk about preventive health and how we can be a better you, a better me, a better us in 2026 so that we can live long, prosperous, and healthy lives. At this time, we're going to turn it over to my co-chair, my co-host, Professor Niasan. Hello, my brother. How are you? Merry Christmas. And what's it looking like on your neck of the woods?
Merry Christmas. It's chilly as it is in Philadelphia, but we are surviving. We were able at least to go to church to thank the Lord for this day, the day He has made. So welcome to the program. Thank God we keep hope alive. It is, as you said, the last Sunday of the month. It is December the 28th, the last Sunday in this month of December. It is also the last Sunday of the year. It is the last day of the month and the last Sunday of the last Sunday of the month and the last Sunday of the year. Yes, that is what it is. We are on the 52nd Sunday of 2025, on this 53rd week of 2025, using United States standard calculations. There are just 3 days left. Did I say that? Yes, just 3 days left until 2025 is completely out of the way. We are on the 8th day of winter. That means that we still have about 82 days left for winter to stay with us and do what it has to do. And of course, there will be the next season, my favorite, spring. It is the season of color, season of greenery, and a season of hope for me. I like it. I like the beauty of spring. This December 28th is the fourth of the 12 days of Christmas called 12th Side. Whatever it is, let us just leave it there and go ahead. It is also the third day of Kwanzaa for those who celebrate that feast. We celebrate and we remember. We are therefore here and we're going to endeavor to take care of our homes of clay. You know the home of clay I'm talking about? These bodies of ours. We therefore anchored this reflection today on a scenario. Remember that our purpose in life is the pursuit of happiness in healthy conditions. But imagine that after you landed your first job and bought your first car, you just kept on driving it without ever doing any other thing. No visits to the shop or to the mechanic for checkups and oil changes. Several months later, the car fails to start that next morning when you get up ready to go to work. In fact, the engine has, as they say, knocked. Well, that is the same with the human body. If we never checked up on our bodies, if we never see the doctor, we will eventually see our engines knock because we failed to do something important. We failed to attend to that pain, we failed to attend to that ache, or we failed to address that abnormal feeling or sensation that we felt in our bodies. Doing these things, that is, keeping track of what is happening in our bodies, is what is called preventive care. Research tells us that preventive health care, also known as preventative health care, and preventive health care or preventive medicine or prophylaxis consists of measures we take for disease prevention as opposed to disease treatment. Further research states that, quote, preventive care is the care we receive to prevent illnesses or diseases. It also includes counseling to prevent health problems. The human body therefore needs regular checkups to ensure that all is fine. So whether we are talking about preventative healthcare or preventive medicine, the understanding is that we adopt such an approach, such as an attitude, as will ensure that we do those things that keep us healthy and going. As Rob Whitman reminds, quote, individuals will achieve healthier lifestyles when prevention and wellness programs are accessible and available in their workplaces, through their health providers, and in their communities, end of quote. And even if these do not exist, everyone should and must endeavor to work for a healthy lifestyle, live in a healthy environment, and strive to be as healthy as is humanly possible. We can only do so by spending time and money and thinking, of course, staying healthy by using our resources on things that keep us healthy. Available literature repeatedly urges us, whatever we do and wherever and however we do it, we should live together. We should live wholesome lives, to always make the time to go for medical checkups, and we must always find the time to address those pains and aches, and we must find the time to ensure that the pursuit of happiness is achieved at affordable and or healthy conditions. Saying all that, we turn to the chair of Africa Online Media Corporation, Her Highness Reverend Tazong-Fomundam, to say welcome to all of us and to let this discussion get started. Preventive health.
Yeah, so thank you so much, and I love the red hat. That lines up with Ambassador Lisa's Jolly Burger sweater. Can't believe this.
Thank you.
Oh my God, Ambassador Lisa, what are you trying to do to us? We're talking about preventive health, and not eating burger is part of that preventive health that we need to talk about. And of course, our beautiful Dr. Gloria Crossley, Miss Senior World Virginia, DMVs, and the visionary and founder of Mr. DC, and Dr. B. Tazong, who is pressing our way to join us briefly today to talk about preventive health. So let's go right into, I want to welcome all of you. I appreciate you, Ambassador Lisa, Dr. Crossley, Nia Song, Dr. B, and our viewers around the globe. Let's hand the mic over to Dr. B because she's pressed for time. Dr. B, the mic is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Reverend Pam and everybody on the panel. It's always a privilege. Another day alive, another day to serve God and to serve His people. It's a privilege. I'm sorry that I'm not fully available today because I've been on the road, but
that's okay.
Going to do the best I can to be helpful. So I know we're talking about preventive health, and every time I feel like I'm circling the wagon, because it really boils down to what we choose to do with our lives. Disease prevention basically means you're trying to avoid problems as much as possible with your health. And there are many ways to do that, but it boils down again. I call it circling the wagon because it comes back to lifestyle medicine, which is basically how you choose to live. And now we're calling it medicine because they've gone in and done some research and they've tried to collate enough data to support what we've always known. It's something that has been known for generations. It's something that has been known for decades. And the people before us, generations before us, this is how they lived life. They lived well, they lived long, they died well, they finished well. And it's because they did the things that they were supposed to do and they did them the right way. And unfortunately, what has happened as we progress and we become more creative about how our environment is built is that we have lost the ability to respect nature and to respect the rules of human existence. And I'm hoping that having this little conversation will take us back to that place. um the main thing, so we are all born packaged a certain way. I call it the genetics. You can't control your genetics. You can't control what your parents handed down to you, which is something that they also received from their own parents. And that was basically what determined who you were and what you were made of. What you can control is what you do with what you have. So we can't control our genes, and thank God that most illnesses are not dependent on our genes. The genes predispose us to various problems in life, but we can mitigate that by the choices that we make, hence lifestyle medicine. And I think I really love this topic because it's easy to say, well, I got handed a bad deck, or woe is me, or it's something else that happened. But the truth is that there are so many choices that each of us can make that would significantly mitigate our risk for getting sick, or even when we do get sick, for finishing or for overcoming well. So I want to talk a little bit about, when we talk about prevention, there are different levels of prevention. There's primordial, there's primary, there's secondary, there's tertiary, and there's quaternary. So primordial really has a lot more to do with policy, where we try to set things up so that people are not placed in situations where they can get sick. So, for example, the government tries to prevent sales of tobacco products so that people don't even have access to them. They try to build healthy environments so people have access to the right things to use. They try to prevent easy access to alcohol, drugs, and so on. That's primordial. It's like basically saying we are mitigating harm before it reaches the point where it can have an impact. Primary prevention is aiming to reduce the risk of disease before it begins by targeting modifiable risk factors in individuals who are still healthy. So, for example, just getting your regular doctor's visits, getting your physical activity in, avoiding tobacco use. So, the previous stage, they actually prevent you from having access. But let's say there's already tobacco, must you use it? No. Your body's already here. Can you stay active? Yes. Can you maintain a healthy weight? Yes. So there are all kinds of foods that we can choose to eat, but you can decide that I don't want to be unhealthy. So I'm going to make better choices because I don't want to get to a place where I have to start dealing with health issues. That's primary prevention. So again, it talks about it here. Research indicates that when combined, lifestyle modifications can reduce the risk of heart disease by more than 80%. So think about it. All the times that people have heart disease and other things, most of the times it's basically what we do. It's not just the way you were born, it's what you do. Even when people are handed a rotten deck, they can make something nice out of it if they choose to do the right things. Exercising regularly, eating a balanced diet, quitting smoking, maintaining a normal weight, maintaining a normal blood pressure, good cholesterol. The goal now is to be less than 150. And then if you have other issues, you want to be less than 100. And then maintaining appropriate glucose levels. So if you can keep all these things in check, you significantly reduce your risk of dying from a lot of the metabolic diseases that kill most people. And then also one of the things that kills people a lot is accidents and so on. And a lot of those things are tied to what? Not getting enough sleep, driving under the influence, not paying attention. So all of those things are modifiable risk factors. If you want to be on the road, please make sure you get enough rest. Please make sure you're not under the influence of any kind of drug or alcohol or anything else. Please make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're not texting and stuff like that. So a lot of times when accidents happen, you can almost trace it back to these things. Now, every once in a while, we may have a failure of the brake or failure of this and that. But again, that's part of lifestyle, right? Make sure you maintain your car as best as you can, maintain it properly, the tires, the brakes, and everything. And then sometimes things happen that are out of your control, but those are significantly less circumstances. So the whole point of prevention is not that we can stop everything from happening, but we can significantly reduce the number of bad things that can happen to us. And I think that's a win. We can't stop everything, but we can significantly prevent a lot of things from happening to us. Now, on to the next level of prevention, which is secondary prevention. It focuses on the risk of reducing of reducing the risk of already existing health issues. So, for example, you have high blood pressure, you already have it. So we are now beyond where you had a disease, you have it. What do? We want to keep the blood pressure under control. And then again, it doesn't matter what level of prevention you're at, lifestyle still counts. Because even if you have high blood pressure, if you're eating well, you're getting enough sleep, you're taking your medications as prescribed, you're physically active, you're avoiding things that raise your blood pressure, including things like stress and salt, excess salt in food, that also keeps your blood pressure under good control, and it reduces your risk of complications from the disease that you have. So when you go, let's say you went for your regular screening, right? Let's say for breast cancer screening, and you went and you found out that you had breast cancer. Now, you in the beginning when you went and you didn't have any breast cancer, it was primary prevention. But now that you have breast cancer, the next thing is, how do we stop this thing from ravaging this person's life? Now that we found it, let's take care of it. And then we also add lifestyle medicine modifications to it. Again, keeping your weight down, staying physically active, eating properly, exercising. So it doesn't matter what stage you're at, doing the right thing by your body via lifestyle medicine always helps you. And then let's say you had a heart attack. Now we need to modify your diet, we need to modify your lifestyle. And that again brings us back to a place where you're able to help yourself stay out of more trouble. Then we do have tertiary prevention. Tertiary prevention is where you've already had a disease, you've already had complications. The question now is, how do we minimize the long-term impact of the disease? Let's say you already had a stroke. We don't want you to have another stroke. We want you to have a decent quality of life. We want you to not just give up. We want you to get up and keep moving and keep doing something with yourself. We want to send you to physical therapy. We want to keep your blood pressure under control. We want to manage the way you eat and what you eat. So again, making good choices at every level of prevention counts. So let's say you had a rheumatic heart disease, it's already happened to you. What can we do? Get a heart repair, a surgical valve repair, make sure that you're on blood thinners, you're monitoring and so on. So there's always something to do. We want to reduce the load of the illness on your body. We want to reduce the impact of a chronic disease and its complications on your body and prevent disability as much as possible. And again, quality of life. Now, quaternary prevention aims to ensure that medical interventions offer more benefit than harm by protecting patients from unnecessary or excessive treatment. So yes, it's good. Prevention is good, but sometimes it may be too much of a good thing where we are overdoing and it's not really helping people. And so now we are aware of the different layers of prevention. I want to talk a little bit about lifestyle medicine because I think, again, that's why I'm so passionate about lifestyle medicine, because it's really the foundation of any kind of good health. We call lifestyle medicine, it's an evidence-based approach to staying healthy. And again, lifestyle, your style of living, that's what it is. I don't care what kind of medications you take. I don't care what kind of problem you have. If you don't make changes to how you live your life, you will not have good outcomes. So sometimes I like to compare it to, yeah, you may have a nice car, you're driving it. Let's say you have a luxury car. You can put whatever gas you want in it, but if you want that car to drive well and to last long and to perform at its optimum, you need to put the right kind of gas. So if you have, let's say, a Range Rover, you can't be putting an 87 in that car. Yeah, you can put it in, it's just going to destroy the car. And if we're talking about cars, our bodies are the most amazing machines that ever existed and will ever exist. Anything that exists in this world now was kind of created by us, it was invented by us because we are such high functioning organisms. And so can you imagine taking this highly functioning organism and loading it up with all kinds of junk and you expect it to work well? We know not to do that with our nice cars. How come we don't get it with our bodies? We take our bodies for granted because every time you go to bed, you wake up, you assume you're going to wake up, you assume you're going to breathe, you assume you can just eat your food and swallow it until something goes wrong. And then you realize, my goodness, this thing is amazing. I didn't realize how much is behind me staying healthy. So we need to commit to protecting our health. The most important asset you have is your health. It's not your bank account. You're going to die and leave your bank account. If you get sick, your bank account may help you with getting medications, but it's not going to help you give you back your life. So the person that has control over that is you. And you have the power every single day, every single time to make a choice that buys you good health. And so I want to encourage us to keep doing that. So when we talk about lifestyle medicine, we talk about the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. So it's healthy eating. And the whole thing about healthy eating is focusing on plant-based nutrition. If there's anything you're going to walk away from this conversation with today, it's that the key to good health is fiber. Fiber is only found in plants because it's part of the cell wall of the plant. And the reason fiber is so important, it does one, it helps the microbiome in your body, especially your gut, to grow. It provides nutrition, but also fiber, it regulates the flow of things in our body. So when you eat food that is high in fiber, your body has to take time to break through. Your body does not digest fiber, but fiber kind of slows down the digestive process and slows down the rate at which things get into your system. So your body is slowly working on it and releasing nutrients at a manageable rate into your body, including things like sugar. So plants, the goal for eating is whole food plant-based nutrition. There's this thing it's called myplate.gov. Myplate.gov. You can see it anywhere you are in the world if you just go to the website, and you will see that most of what should be on your plate is plants. Most of what should be on your plate is plants. There's vegetables, there's fruits, there's whole grains. Whole grains mean that the fiber is still in that food. And that's why we talk about whole food. We want food that has not been heavily adulterated. Every time food is heavily processed, they destroy a lot of its natural value, including the fiber. And then they come back and they say they want to add fiber. How about you just eat stuff closer to its natural form so that you're getting the best quality? Your body is organic. The foods that we eat, plants are organic. Your body recognizes stuff like that. A lot of other things that we eat, our bodies don't even recognize them. They don't know what in the world we're putting in our bodies, and those are the things that make us sick because they drive our bodies crazy. And they don't feed the things that help us stay healthy, specifically the gut microbiome. um the second thing is good sleep, and again, there are many recommendations for sleep because it varies with your age. And then there's also variation in individuals. People require slightly different amounts of sleep, but for the most part, we're looking at, with middle-aged people, we're looking at about 8 hours a day. With younger people, it's somewhere between 10 to 12 hours. 12 is more like the really young kids, more like 10 hours. And then as you get older, your goal is to hit somewhere between 7 and 8 hours a night. And sleep is such a powerful and restorative tool for our bodies. So when you get sleep, your body heals, your body recovers, your body consolidates, your body, there's just so much that happens to you that when you go to sleep, it's almost like turning down the system so that the system can regroup and recalibrate and get ready. And you will know, even when you're stressed out or you're tired or you're not feeling well, when you go to sleep and wake up in the morning, it's almost as if you're a brand new person. And that's because your body has had a chance to do a lot of good things for itself, including rebuilding your immune system, just consolidating stuff. Even your memory gets consolidated when you go to sleep at night. So the brain also gets cleaned out when you go to sleep. So when you don't get enough sleep, you're putting yourself at risk of having a lot of injury to your brain cells with many interesting outcomes, including things like Alzheimer's, memory loss, and all that stuff. So good sleep is important. It helps you physically, emotionally, and psychologically. When people don't get enough sleep, they have a short fuse. They get upset easily because their body is not ready for the day. Their body is not ready for what's coming. When you rest, your body is ready. It's renewed, and you're ready for the next day and the next set of challenges. Also, psychologically, you're more likely to get upset because when you're tired, you're just, you have a short fuse. And so when you see people struggling with those things, some of the things you want to look at is, am I getting enough rest? Am I giving my body time to heal and to recover and to just regroup so that I can come back ready for the next day? Then the next thing we talk about is physical activity. The body is meant to move. Think about a car. If you park the car in front of your house for weeks and weeks and months and you don't use it, the thing comes apart. Same thing with our bodies. They were not designed to sit still. Actually, sitting still, or what we call a sedentary lifestyle, is now being equated with is almost as bad as smoking cigarettes because your body just doesn't get the goodness out of life. So the goal is the lowest goal is 150 minutes per week. So you're looking at least 30 minutes a day of brisk walking, and then at least 2 days a week of strength training. So you want to keep your hard working hard to build resilience or to build endurance, but you also want to keep your muscles strong and functional because those things keep you healthy, they keep you out of trouble, and they allow you to be able to get around and maintain your strength and your balance. So, and again, the people of old knew these things because they didn't go to the gym, they didn't have any gyms, but they were always on the move. They got up in the morning, they kept moving around, you bend, you squat, even the dances that we do. I'm looking back, I'm like, these people got it. They're always moving, they're always dancing, they're always doing a lot of things that require various movements and flexibility. And so technically they didn't even need to go to the gym. If you just keep your body moving, you stay active, you keep doing different things, you squat, you stand up, you reach out, and all those different things, your body knows and your body appreciates it. You keep it functional, you keep the joints in good shape. And then of course that also ties in, when you're moving around a lot and you're managing what you eat, you're less likely to overload your body. There's something I want to say about obesity. I know people don't want to hear it all the time, but the truth is that obesity is a form of self abuse, and it's also a form of malnutrition. Malnutrition basically means you're not feeding your body right. So it's not just the people that we see that have kwashiorkor. When you're obese, you're also malnourished because you're not eating the right things for your body. That's why your body is packing up those calories. If you were eating just the right stuff, your body won't have extra to store up. So, and I call it a form of self abuse because every human being has a frame. Your frame is your skeleton. Every skeleton has what I call its specs, so specifications. There's only so much that each frame is supposed to carry. Now, let's say your frame was supposed to carry 150 pounds, and then you decide to pack on 200 pounds or 250 pounds. That's really abusing your body's frame. And until you can start looking at it from that angle, you can understand why obesity is so bad for you. It damages your body, it wears and tears it very nicely, and it also just interferes with how your body works. Because when you see somebody who is obese, it's not just what you see on the outside. That fat is stuck in between the cells and it interferes with how the cells work. So I want you to start looking at it as me being taking care of my body is not just about looking good, it's about keeping my body in the right functional state. My body, I owe this to myself. I mean, a lot of times you see people that have already started having all these joint issues because, of course, the joints are carrying more than they were ever designed to carry. I explain it to my patients this way. Can you imagine if you took the body of an SUV, let's say a Chevy Suburban, and you put it on the frame of a sedan, let's say Honda Civic? Do you really think that thing is going to work well? But that's kind of how we treat our bodies. And you have to look at it from that angle to get it, to say, okay, yeah, I'm really mistreating my body. I know that I'm enjoying my food and all that stuff, but my body is not liking this. Um, so we talked about nutrition, we talked about sleep, we talked about physical activity. Now there's also stress management. Stress management affects your body. It does a lot of harmful things to you. And so you want to make sure that you're working on your stress levels. Ignoring stress does not solve it. Stress is a part of life. You need to know how to handle it, how to manage it, and how to minimize it. The things that you do that bring more stress to you, you want to avoid them as much as possible. And then sometimes it's other people bringing stress to us. So you have to set boundaries and you have to define what you will accept and what you will not accept. And it's difficult, but when you practice them more and more, you become better at it. And once people understand what you will and will not accept, they slowly adjust. And people that don't want to adjust will walk away. And it's fine. You don't have to be hateful. You just have to respect yourself enough and demand that other people respect you as much and give other people just as much respect. We all desperately need it. Boundaries are necessary for preservation of the quality of life and for allowing you to function well. I think about it this way. Every time you violate a boundary, you have a disaster. When you have a flood, why? It's because water violated the boundaries where it's supposed to flow. If you have bleeding in the body, what happened? The blood violated its boundaries. They're supposed to be stuck in blood vessels, not running all over your body. And there are many, many more examples of that. The body itself has highly structured boundaries. Nature has highly structured boundaries. In our behaviors and our relationships, we need to have boundaries. They are not hateful. They are not meant to cut people out. They are meant to protect all of us so that we can function well and be our best. So that's called stress management. The next thing is avoiding risky substances, things like tobacco, things like alcohol, things like drugs, and anything else that you're taking that is causing harm to your body. Your body knows what's good for it, and your body will respond accordingly depending on what you put into it or what you expose it to. So tobacco may be a fun thing to do if you feel that it helps you relieving your stress or you just enjoy the habit, but it's loading up on poisons. When you have time, go to Google and just type in their toxins in tobacco. I mean, it has all kinds of crazy stuff in there. All kinds of crazy stuff. And I just say, can you imagine taking your hard earned money and buying poison and poisoning yourself? Most people would never do that, but they don't think about cigarettes that way. And I want you to start thinking about it that way. Same thing with alcohol. Right now, there's always a struggle, but the truth is that there's no amount of alcohol that is really good for you. And then there's a difference between men and women too. Men can tolerate a little bit more than women. Definitely no for pregnant women. Definitely no for younger people. But your goal is to reduce it or minimize use of alcohol as much as possible. Now, somebody's gonna say, "Well, I don't drink all the time. It's just one time a year on Christmas, and I just go ahead and I just load myself up with alcohol." The truth is that that's still considered substance abuse, because on that one day when you drink too much, a lot of bad things can happen to you. You can have an accident. You can get engaged in something and end up with an STD. You can all kinds of crazy things can happen. You can get into a major fight at your home, or you can go to work and have a major fight that would ruin your life. So even that one time is not good for you. The goal is to keep it to the barest minimum and, if possible, avoid it as much as possible. And it's not just alcohol. A lot of times, things that lead to violence and injury are tied to substance abuse, because once you take those things and they affect the way you think and the way you see things and the way you understand things, your risk of having an accident is significantly higher. And we know that a lot of times, for example, in Cameroon, you're about to get on a public transport, and this person who is driving, all these people says, "Well, I need clearance, let me get some alcohol." I mean, that is crazy, right? But people do that. And that's why here, when you're doing this kind of jobs, they're always monitoring you. Did you get enough sleep? Are you They do a breathalyzer in some cases, because they don't want to put people's lives in your hands when you're not even able to think or see well. So substance abuse we've addressed. The last thing is social connections. And we human beings are social beings. Nobody was ever designed to be alone. Throughout your life, from the day you come in here to the day you leave, you're always going to need people. You need somebody to carry you and bring you into this world. You need somebody to help birth you, the birthing process. Somebody has to be there to assist the mother. You need somebody to feed you and take care of you until you can help yourself. But even when you can help yourself, you don't farm and do everything for yourself. You go buy food in the market. What if somebody else did not plant the food? What if somebody didn't build roads? What if somebody didn't have a job where you could work? So you see, we need each other. And we need to find ways to make life worth living by building good social connections. Even the day you die, you need somebody to bury you. If somebody doesn't bury you, the animals will help you out. They will eat you up. So there's not a time in this life when we do not need people. And understanding that should help us now define how we're going to build relationships. In Japan, there's I'm forgetting the name. There's something that they do where when you're a young child, they take you to the city center. So their families, they have friends that they've picked for you, and those people are going to be your lifetime friends. Those people, you're going to walk with them from when you're a child until when you leave this world. And they commit to each other. They commit to each other through the different stages of life until the day they check out. When they get old and they've raised their children, their children have left, they start checking up on each other. If they stay one day and they don't see one member from their group, they go around and start checking on each other. They spend time together, they play games together, because we need each other. People that are isolated are more likely to suffer and to die sooner. And misery is not something that we are designed to handle well. Our bodies don't handle well. When you are sick, when you have people around you, it gives you courage. When you're all by yourself, there's really nothing to live for or to fight for. So when people are going through different kinds of things in their lives, it's because of other people that we keep fighting. Sometimes they just encourage you. Sometimes you just think about what you mean to some other people and how much you have to contribute, and you say, "I'm going to keep fighting." So we are social beings, and we need to work on building and maintaining good social connections. I think those are the main things when we're talking about disease prevention. Now, another thing that is really important, that is not exactly lifestyle, but it's still prevention, is that we need to be aware of family history. Remember, we talked about what you inherit from your family. It's important because, again, it predisposes you to certain things, and when you know, then you know that you should do better. For example, if you have a family history where people have a lot of colon cancer, right, you need to know that. We need to start asking questions. We need to start having honest conversations with our family members. We need to know, is there kidney disease, is there heart disease, is there this, and is there blood pressure issues, so that we can become more proactive. If you know an area where there's a struggle, you know to concentrate more of your efforts in that area. So, for example, I was just talking about families where you have colon cancer. If you have colon cancer in your family, what we normally do is that in a primary family member, so like a very close family member, father, brother, father, mother, brother, sister, or immediate aunt or uncle, we need to know, because then we start screening you for colon cancer earlier. So let's say your father had colon cancer at the age of 40. You are supposed to know this thing, because you need to start. Normally they start screening for colon cancer at this time at the age of 45, unless you have symptoms. So if you know that your father had colon cancer at the age of 40, you're supposed to let your doctor and your healthcare providers know, because you need to start getting screened 10 years before the first family member got diagnosed, so that you need to start getting screened at the age of 30. See, so it's important to know these things. If there's breast cancer in the family, I'm just going to put this out there too. Not only women have breast cancer, there are some families where even when there's a lot of breast cancer, the men also have breast cancer, and a man is more likely to die, because nobody ever really thinks about a man and breast cancer. But if you're a man who comes from a family where there's a lot of breast cancer, you need to get your breast checked. If you see something weird, you need to tell your doctor. And always tell your doctors when you go and see them, if you're a male with a lot of female family members, tell them I have a strong family history of breast cancer in the women, so they can keep an eye out for you, you know. So those are just little things, and the reason why it's important to know your family history. It's not meant to put people's business out there. It's meant to protect everybody that has that genetic predisposition. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was,
Wow.
and thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. Dr. B said, if there's nobody to bury you, the animals will help you out.
Yes,
That was been one of our,
that was something.
that was loaded.
That was powerful. That was a lot. But Dr. B, can I ask you a question? In all that you have shared in preventive medicine, can you speak to the circadian rhythm, how important that is?
Yes, ma'am. So, sorry that I've not had time to review. I always like to have like all my details in place, but the circadian rhythm is tied to the sun and the moon and the way things flow. So, our bodies are supposed to follow the cycle of the sun and the moon and everything else, day and night time. And I personally, for people that don't believe in God, don't bother about what I'm saying here, but I believe in God, and I believe that He did something amazing. You know, He made our bodies so that our bodies go with the flow of nature. We are supposed to be sleeping at night. We are supposed to be sleeping at night, and the circadian rhythm kind of goes around that, where your body, even your body even knows. Your body respects nature. Your body knows when to release certain hormones to help you get up from sleep, or to kind of get you ready for sleep. And so when your body is flowing with nature, in the morning your body produces things that kind of help you get out of bed. In the evening, your body is more attuned to producing things like melatonin that help you go to sleep. But the thing is that everything is tied together. For example, if you don't get enough sunshine during the daytime, your body doesn't have enough of the precursor that it needs to generate melatonin at night. So one of the things that we recommend for good sleep is you need to get outside and get some sunshine. We're not asking you to go burn yourself. We want you to get some sunshine, because there are things that you get during from sunshine that help your body have what it needs to make melatonin in the evening, so that you can, your melatonin is almost like it's a gentle sedative that your body produces that makes you kind of sleepy. And towards the evening time, your body starts producing it, and you see those levels go up and down depending on what it is that the body is producing. I don't know if I answered your question well, but again, we live in a world where people are doing different kinds of shifts and so on. And, you know, we can't tell people not to live their lives, but as much as you can, respect nature, respect your body.
Thank you. Thank you. So I just want to add to the information on the circadian rhythm. From 12 noon to 7 p.m., it's our intake cycle. That is the time that we should be feeding our body with high nutrients. That's our high water intake. We start drinking water. Reverend Pam, can you mute yourself, please?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. 4 a.m. is when we should start, drinking water. From 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. is our assimilation cycle. That's when our body, as Dr. B said, our body should be calming down. It should be getting ready for sleep. And while we're sleeping, our body is assimilating. It is moving and breaking down food and moving it in the place where it's supposed to be going to. And it's the rest time for your intestines. Your body's digesting. You should be, your intestines should be calming down. If you ever notice when you eat late at night, Sometimes we have to. Sometimes we've been out all day, we've had meetings or whatever, and we're running in late and we're trying to grab something to eat, and we're usually eating the wrong things. And then when you go to bed, you've got acid reflux. And that sucker is not pretty. It burns really badly. I know spaghetti sauce does it for me. If my spaghetti sauce is not hot, it's going to come back. So when you're laying down, I'm not sure what that is called, but there is something that closes up the esophagus and keeps the food and stuff down. But when you don't eat early enough and stop eating at the right time, then that food comes back with that acid, which is causing that acid reflux and that burning in your throat. And then from 4 a.m. to 12 noon is our cleansing cycle. It's when we should be detoxing. Our lymphatic system should be moving. We're getting up, and the lymphatic system is the only system in our body that does not have a pump to move on its own. That's why you must get up. You've got to exercise, eat the right things. We eat fruits in the morning because that's natural energy, and then you don't eat fruit at night. I was very famous for taking my oranges to bed and my grapes and eating grapes all night and oranges. I'd peel an orange, and every time I wake up, I'd pop a little orange in my mouth. But that's not good because then that hinders you from sleeping. So we should be eating our fruits in the morning and afternoon, and our vegetables in the afternoon and the evening, because that stabilizes and doesn't give you that extra rush that keeps you up all night. As you said, sleep is very important for our bodies, it's very important for our brain, and it's just an overall very good thing that we need. I put in the chat box our requirement when she was talking about our sleep requirements. From 0 to 3 months, you need 14 to 17 hours of sleep. From 4 to 11 months, you need 12 to 16 hours. From 1 to 2, you need 11 to 14 hours. From 3 to 5 years old, you need 10 to 13 hours. 6 to 12, you need 9 to 12 hours of sleep. From 13 to 18 years old, you need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And from 18 to 64, you need 7 to 9 hours. And 65 plus, you only need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So, parents, when you're letting your child stay up to 9, 10, 11 o'clock, even on the weekends, just because they don't have school to go to, and you think Saturday is a free day, that child still needs to be having a cycle. That child needs to be going to bed at a certain time so that their bodies will develop properly. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yes, let me tell you something about sleep. I think I want to hone this in because I'm guilty of this sometimes. We take sleep for granted. There's only one thing in your life that you do more than anything else. It's called sleep. We spend about 1/3 of our life sleeping. I don't care, even your job, you don't spend that much time on your job. But for your entire life, you spend about 1/3 of your life sleeping. That's pretty important. And I say it's so important that everything changes just so you can get some sleep, including darkness. The whole point of darkness is to shut things down, shut your body down so you can get some sleep. Even your body gets it, like I said, following the circadian rhythm, the body knows to shut things down. Your body shuts down from going to the bathroom to poop or to pee and anything else that needs to be done. Your body shuts it down so you can sleep. And that's why when people have certain disorders and they wake up at night, they get up dysfunctional or their lives get dysfunctional because they're not getting enough sleep. Your body actually knows it. So at a certain point in time, it shuts down. It shuts down. The move. It doesn't. It's not that those things don't work, but the whole process gets put on the shelving. It's like this is slow motion right now. You sleep, and that's why when you wake up in the morning, normally the first thing you want to do is run to the bathroom because your body says, "Oh, you're awake. Let's go get these things out now. We've been keeping them for you. We wanted you to get some rest. Now you can go get rid of them. Go pee and possibly poop and so on." So my point again is just to reinforce how desperately important sleep is. Even your immune system, when you don't get enough rest, the immune system does not work well. You're actually, and if you watch yourself, you see, like when I used to do a lot of stuff and I was traveling a lot, I would find when I don't get enough sleep, I just kept getting colds. Everybody came by me and I got a cold and I just got sick. And it's because your body knows it's not primed for success. Sleep is one of those things.
Great. The maker conceived
Well,
everything in such a good way that we do not figure and we do not understand. But we have to follow the rhythm so that we don't fall victim to misusing the time that he gave us.
I just want to say Dr. B has to go. Dr. B, thank you so much. So anchors, take it from here. I'm going to go back on mute.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year and
Happy New Year.
Same to you. Same
Prosperous
to you.
New Year. Safe landing to everybody in 2026.
Thank you, Reverend Pam.
Bless
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. B.
All right.
So we've heard what kinds of things we need to do to go into 2026 in preventive health. Got to get the sleep. You have to drink that water. You have to eat your vegetables. And yet, we live in a time where everything is bioengineered and it's hard. It is so difficult to find real food. Even if you're eating a healthy snack, you know, there's genetically modified ingredients. If you read the packaging, it'll say ingredients made from bioengineer. Doesn't tell you what that ingredient is, but it just tells you they've used something that's not real food. They've put canola oil. It's in everything, even in your healthy snacks, your snack bars. There is canola oil, and we almost can't get rid of the unhealthy, unproductive, processed foods. But we must do as best we can to get rid of those. We have to eat fruit with seeds. And yeah, you may have to travel some because seedless grapes are everywhere. It is so easy to just grab a bag of seedless grapes and you think you're doing something good for your body. But if it doesn't have seed in it, Nia son, what is it? I mean, the scripture tells us that everything produces after its own kind and it's got a seed in it. So if it doesn't have a seed, how is it producing? It's man-made. Now
It's man-made.
I drive a half an hour to get fruit. I drive a half an hour to the produce store to get fruit with seeds in it.
Which is a good practice.
Yes, because it's important. It's important that my food is real, that I try and eat as much real fruit and fruits as possible. Dr. Crosland, you're there. You heard Dr. B talk about all the preventive things that we can do to produce a good, healthy life. Would you like to weigh in on anything she said or anything that you're doing to keep yourself looking young and gorgeous?
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you to the global audience who always show up. And thank you to, I know she doesn't like for us to call her ambassador, but Her Excellency, Queen Mother, Dr. Pam, Reverend Dr. Pam Fomundam. It's so nice of you to create this platform for us. I learned so much, and I get to share about prevention today. And thank you so much, Professor Nia-san, for always thinking of the global audience, and to you, Prophetess Pam. So I did want to ask Dr. B a couple of questions, but I'll get to ask her next time. But for me, my issue is at the cellular level, and like over-the-counter supplements and prevention and maintenance. And for some people, I guess they could call it treatment. But today on the internet, I read something about a pill that will help boost cells and the immune system. And so that's going to be my question next time for Dr. B, and that's going to be my new research project. So that's what I have to add today. Thank you all so much.
Just have that on your plate for your New Year resolutions. Let that decision to research that topic be your New Year resolution, at least one of them.
Well, Nia-san, let me just make a slight correction.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, Dr. Crosland, the initial AfricaOnline was a teleconference. I did not create that, but I was on there as a guest, and I was made chair, and I transformed it to Africa Online Media Corporation as we know it. So I just wanted to correct that. So I was not a visionary, but I took it to another level. I was Nia Song and a couple of other guys. So, all right, I just wanted to correct that. Thank you. But I was there from day one, just so you know.
Okay.
I just took it to another level. I moved it from Africa Online to Africa Online Media Corporation and created an organization instead of just a teleconference.
Oh, so you said it was originally a conference. Do they still have this conference?
No, this is it. I'm saying that, once you say created, I created Africa Online Media Corporation, not Africa Online. I'm just saying it started as Africa Online, but it was a teleconference.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was there from day one, and Nia Song and the other guys made me chair, and I changed it to Africa Online Media Corporation. So.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being that media person who likes facts, to present facts as they are. Not, not as they should be, not as they ought to be by somebody else.
Not alternative facts.
Not alternative facts. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
so we're doing a short show today. We're going to be ending at 5 o'clock because our speaker had to leave. So therefore, we don't have a Q&A opportunity. So we're going to talk about what our topic is for next week. And we're going to play our anthem at the top of the hour. And then we will have our last words. Are we okay with that, Nia Song, or should we play the anthem now and then do our last word?
Well, let me just make the announcement.
Okay. Yeah, she's with us. Yeah, she's here now, so she can make the announcement now.
Okay, I'll make the announcement and then I will just stay muted for the rest of the show. We are going to be discussing our New Year's resolution. We all know about that. And on behalf of the organization, I really want to appreciate you, Nia Song, Ambassador Lisa, Dr. Crosslin, and all our viewers. And next year, let's try to get some student intern, Ambassador Lisa and Nia Song, to help us with this show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we will do our best to be on top of everything. That being said, Ambassador, it's your turn to. Do you want to play the anthem, or you want?
Yeah, let's go with the anthem, and then we'll end like we usually do with our last word. So we'll just share the anthem.
Yeah. Then after that, last word.
Oh, Africa. Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people, with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind Africa Online Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does. To identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africa. Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. Education for everyone. If we believe prosperity for Africans. If we believe medical facilitation for Africans. If we believe stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is the cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Jump on the Africa Online Miracle Jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. It belongs to us. Nia-sang, the floor is yours.
I don't know if she's still here with us, Dr. Crossley. I usually like to start with her for her last word. Dr. Crossley, if you're in the house, please unmute and give us your last word as we move to the last 3 days of the year.
Yes, sir. Again, I want to thank you all for this platform. And all year, you guys have been faithful to ensure that the global audience gets everything that they need to help make their lifestyles great. And that's part of why we're here, and to help each other. Just like Dr. B said, we all need each other. And I look forward to continuing to support Africa Online Media Corporation. Everybody have a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you very much and have a happy holiday. Ambassador, your turn now.
Thank you, Nia-sang. Again, we are almost at the finish line. 3 more days, and we do want to be able to cross over and do some things differently. As Reverend Pam said, we're going to be talking about New Year resolutions next Sunday. But let's go with the mindset that these are not just going to be promises that we make to ourselves that we're going to accomplish one day, 1 week, even 1 month. But we want to create a healthy lifestyle. We want to walk in preventive opportunities, preventive situations that will keep us from having to go to the doctors, spend money on co-pays, spend money on medication. When we begin to do the things that are natural, get sleep, eat the right food, exercise. These are the preventive things that we need to do. So let's get busy doing them. In the meantime, we encourage you to join Africa Online every Sunday from 4 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we discuss a variety of topics that benefit not only the African on the continent, but those of us here in the diaspora as well. Go to our Facebook page, go to our YouTube page, like, subscribe, leave your comments, and then share these clips with those that you know need to hear what we have shared. God bless you. God's best blessings as you cross over to 2026.
Thank you very much. Your Highness, are you with us? Please unmute and give us your last word before we wrap it up.
I already gave my last word earlier.
You can give us
happy New Year, and thank you guys so much.
Thank
and
you
let's get
much.
those student interns next year.
We'll do our best. Thank you very much. Please, Happy New Year in advance, and please enjoy the last 3 days of the year. Thank you.